I didn't mean to do.
I may not have done that on purpose. Hello, guys, and welcome down to the CoasterGen Show. Today, we have a fantastic special guest on the show. For the benefit of people
really
listening on
capture
Spotify, you need to watch that on YouTube. That was hilarious. Hello, we have DigitalDan
Hello,
on
how's
the
it
show.
going? Ignore what I just did to my phone.
We've got Sean from ParkSpill. Joe is on season 2 for the first time this year from Team Back Insanity, and we've got Mikhile. Hello, everyone in the chat. And yeah, we were just joking about how YouTube doesn't go live for us like straight away, where you guys are just like watching it straight away. And like everyone was like, "We'll just pause with the drinks." So
how long did that take? I was like, "This is too long now." Like, go on.
we were there for a solid.
We went live before I decided to do the intro. Anyway, let's put it that way.
Oh my god!
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Fantastic.
That was great.
Oh, so
I sniffed it.
How is everybody then after the crap week of news we've had? Like basically.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's been
bit of a yikes, really.
This has probably been the most 2020 week of 2020.
Oh, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. That's such a good point. Oh, that's such a good point. That's such a good point.
Hello,
I mean, I was kind of expecting it, so it was one of them where I kind of like amping myself up for the news anyway. So when it happened, I was like, yeah, obviously
it's
happened. Yeah.
Yes, hello to everybody in the chat, and we'll get to questions in a little while. But I think we're Dan. You've not been on this show you've not been on the Coaster show. You've
for
been
a
keeping
while.
The podcast, and you've not been on since literally. I think it was before the season even started.
It was quite a while ago.
Was it that long ago?
I think it
was. It that long ago?
I think
yeah. Talk about time flies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back. It's good to be back. Thanks for having me back on.
Thank you for coming back.
No worries. I'm sure, especially with what we've been talking about with topics, I'm probably not going to have a clue in half of them, but I can do it. It's all good.
That's
I mean, we just blag our way through it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's what most of my videos are like, anyway. So I can relate.
I normally have no idea. So.
No. So let's try and get some theme park news in by going to Joe about Flamingo Land and when construction is going to continue on for the new coaster.
Yeah, no problem at all. So, as we all know, unfortunately, construction has officially finished. Well, in fact, quite a while back now, actually. But originally, they were supposed to be starting this week. Now, with the current measures that are in place, that does mean, unfortunately, yet again, things have been pushed back. And at the moment, the estimated, the estimated start date, again, rather, is looking like the 5th of December. So, in terms of work, I believe it's more now down to full testing of the ride, testing of electrics, making sure everything's working as it should be. Of course, starting on painting as well. Repaint is happening, and also working on theming as well. So there is going to be a lot that is going to be happening within that first month or so of obviously restarting. We will be covering it as much as possible on TPI. So if you guys are obviously following me, make sure you do, because we'll be putting weekly updates out as much as we can do as well. And as soon as it starts testing, I'm straight up there with a camera. So I'll be bringing footage direct from Flamingo Land.
Man.
So there we go.
Absolutely. And you can check out Theme Park Insanity in the link in the video description below. So
do, guys.
You're going to film your own documentary there as well, Joe?
Yeah.
It's like a walking shot, so I'll go past.
Yeah.
Just,
and make sure you have that backpack as well. That thing's a prop now, the moving prop.
Oh, I look like a pop ladder.
Yeah,
it's awful.
Joe, do you have an idea of what they will potentially theme this to? Do you have any idea?
So
Everybody's yar.
That's everybody's money, yeah. Everybody's on basically Pirates, and it is looking that way. Colours support that. There is also, weirdly enough, there seems to be Union Jacks on the trains on the map, so I don't really know what that's about.
Are we a Mini Cooper or something?
Maybe.
There was rumors a while back it was going to be an IP ride, so who knows? You know.
Well, it would actually if it like I know
that's where the 20 million's gone.
But you've got Zoom. Yeah. But you've got Zoom, which is like not Zoom. What is it? The
Velocity.
booster bot, Velocity.
Yeah.
But all that's like aimed at racing around there, isn't it? Anyway,
Yeah.
so it could be something to do with that. Like you never know. But
No, that is very true. It'll be interesting to see how it turns out. But you know, the colours, obviously, black and silver alone, obviously support a pirate theme. The sort of water thing near the final turnaround kind of just suggests that. So yeah. interesting to find out.
Really cool. I knew nothing about what it could potentially be themed to, but a pirate theme with those colors or whatever the colors end up being that actually sounds like a good fit.
To be fair,
correct me if I'm wrong, sir, but I think it would be the only pirate themed coaster in the UK as well, if that happened.
Yeah.
So
I think so.
Yeah.
To be fair, if you think about the other black tracked and silver supported ride at Flamingo Land, then it's not the best ride in the world. But,
definitely not. No,
I'm sure this one will be better.
Yeah.
you mean the toast track on a marble run track? Yeah, it's pretty horrendous.
It's literally like
stark contrast.
A Premier in toast machine. Like that is.
Premier in toast machines. They're so. When I was a kid and you first saw one of them, when you see normal toast just goes down, then back up, but then Premier in toast. It's beautiful. See, this is what I do. This is what I specialise in. I just specialise in waffle.
That's what we like.
And that's why you're here.
This whole podcast is just waffle. So
it's a waffle show. The waffle show. If you guys can hear fireworks going off from either
I was gonna say
any of us, we apologise. It's bonfire night, so
there's not much we can do.
Not much we can do about it.
I mean, hey, it's probably going on outside your windows as well.
Yeah, so. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure they've all got the same, unless they live like in the middle of nowhere.
Kyle, it's got lap bars. I've seen the trains. I've literally seen them in person. We saw them on Velocity. We were coming back into the break run, and you could see into the storage area there, and they have lap bars. So confirmed.
They do.
I think it's going to be good. I think it is going to be.
I think it's going to be a really cool experience. It's going to be different. I
love Colossus. I love Colossus.
Same.
It's great, and like obviously with lap bars, I think it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
So, to be honest, I'm just glad I actually got to ride Colossus before I do ride this, so I can now physically compare the two.
I've actually got a reference. I never really got your opinion on Colossus, Joe, because I know I got a little snippet of it on the vlog that we did, but I never really got like your overall opinion of Colossus. So what did you think?
Theming good.
Queuing up for 3.5 hours.
And then having to go and get a drink so I didn't faint. As a ride itself, it's a really good sort of concept. The theming's well done. The whole ride sort of queue area is well done. In terms of the experience, it's a unique experience. It's quite sort of a fluid experience. It is a little bit rough, as I did kind of expect it to be. But to be honest, actually, in terms of the ride itself, I have to say I thought it felt fairly smooth. So good solid addition to FOP and good solid addition overall, really.
The only bad thing about Colossus that I find, I quite like Colossus as a whole. The only bad thing I find is that if you sit on an even row, I can't fit my legs in.
Yeah, that's a problem for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So like the back row of each car.
Yeah, genuinely, there was one time where me and my girlfriend had to go on an even row, and we were just like, we tried to get in, and we were like, can we just go the one in front, because we literally can't fit on because of our legs. So.
We got front row, didn't we?
Yeah.
I've only ever done Colossus on the front, because I prefer just waiting. Well, no, I did it on the back a few times as well. But back is decent, but front is the only one I ever do. It's normally worth the queue. Obviously, this year you can't, but I love it. I do.
I haven't ridden Colossus in so many years, but I've never had an issue with it. I've always enjoyed it. It probably has.
It definitely has. It definitely has.
I don't know what it'd be like when I eventually get to ride it again, but I mean,
I'll make it happen next year for you. Don't worry.
Yeah, definitely, man. We'll get down there, hopefully.
Yep. I'm sure.
I want to get back.
I'm sure Flamingo Land's new edition will be enjoyable as well. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, it has hasn't the track for it been sat in a warehouse or outside for a while though?
It was at Hoppy Harry, and then in a warehouse.
Yeah.
So the footers were already put down for the ride at Hoppy Harry, and
landscaping was all done as well.
The landscaping was done. The track started to go in, and then they ran out of money. They went into it was administration or something, and then the track got put away, and then obviously it's been sent over.
I thought it was meant to go somewhere else again. I thought it was like 3 times it got
movie animation park over in Thailand, Singapore.
Yes, that sounds about right.
Somewhere around there, I think. Yeah,
it's a cursed ride.
Well, let's hope
one thing I will say about Colossus,
it has its home here at Flamingo Land, then that'd be cool.
One thing I will say about Colossus is I do just love the way it's presented. The different. different pathways and bridges. And like the
construction of how it's presented, not like
not the color of it right now, not necessarily that
right now.
I think it's got the best soundtrack out of everything at Thorpe. I love that soundtrack.
It's definitely one of the most iconic ones.
I love it. I know it's controversial. So cool.
Yeah. It's like that and the Inferno. That and the Inferno ones are that known that they didn't change them at all for the IMA score one.
Yeah.
They just kept the same melody and the tune the same.
Yeah.
So I really did like it.
I'm glad they did.
I don't think it's ever been officially opened, this coaster from Coasterbot. No, I don't think it has either.
Has it ever been built before? I just thought it'd never been built.
I don't think it's been constructed before. No,
maybe Intamin's.
Yeah,
but
they might have. Yeah.
It's certainly never been run. Nobody's ever actually got on it. So
no.
Which is probably why it's taking forever
and a day.
Yeah.
That and the current issues, of course, but there we go.
Yeah. Well, didn't the construction team leave this year to go and work on another bigger project or something? Wasn't
I
heard something about that. Yeah.
It's RCS, isn't it? So they had to go back to where are they from? Germany?
From Germany.
Yeah.
Intamin were also out there, obviously, when they were doing the pull through as well, which it's actually passed. So it has passed the pull through. So now it's literally a case of them just getting the rest of the train on the track and now sending it round as soon as they can.
Oh, it passed.
They actually have completed the pull through.
No, it's completed the pull through and apparently it's passed. Yeah. So
cool. Oh,
there we
go.
That's from what I've heard.
They're in a good enough place. They could be running it now and nobody would know because no one's there. So
exactly.
They could be.
Literally just zookeepers up there right now and that's it. So that's all there is.
If you're a zookeeper at Flamingo Land, let us know if they...
Please do.
Give us some inside info, come on.
Stick the tigers on,
It's weird because the one at not Flamingo Land, Portland's Park, is it Storm Chaser?
Oh, that looks so good.
Why does every man and his dog seem to have ridden that? I keep seeing people going, "Yeah, I'm glad I rode that this year." I'm like, how did they get to ride it? It's so weird.
Have they?
Or something?
No, these weren't staff. I don't know how they did it.
Because the whole Tornado Springs area got postponed till next year as well, didn't it? So
it did.
I know at least people riding it.
Yeah, people have been riding it. Yeah.
Oh.
I know there's been staff previews.
There's been staff previews, and there's been I think the construction workers rode it. Other than that, I don't know. Unless we just
they're not gonna publicise it, are they? If they're gonna just let your family.
Is there any zookeepers? Is there any zookeepers at Paul's? If so, tell us. Who's riding it?
All the zookeepers that are gonna get to see special previews of any testing over the off season. Well, I do in the Discord.
Tell us.
Yeah? And
zookeepers are the biggest enthusiasts out of us all. They got it. Park closes, the zoo stays open.
Yes.
And pandas ain't gonna feed themselves, you know what I mean?
Bamboo.
Oh, that was a massive flash.
Jeez, I can hear them already.
Did you hear that?
I heard them.
That was like a nuclear bomb going off. That was massive.
Surprised no one's let off any air sirens before letting off these fireworks. Give us a warning at least.
So, shall we talk about Joe's documentary?
Yeah, Joe's documentary. Yeah, part 2 is coming next year.
Why did my head actually think you've made a documentary?
That's what we wanted.
Even though we talked about this before.
Awesome.
My memory is so good.
God, nobody wants that. Trust me.
But
the thing is, they must have been late out there filming that section because me and James and Aaron were already in the queue for Wicker Man. You turned up and we just got through the extended on Wicker Man, so that's what. Good hour? Yeah, I'd say.
But I think it was about 10:30 when we got in. Actually, realistically, yeah. So,
I mean, I don't think the cameramen were in any rush to get on Wicker Man, so they had the day to film.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
That's
true. We saw the drone up and we saw the camera crew walking towards us, and I said, "That's an awesome camera," and then it just completely blanked me, and I was like, "Okay, thanks." And then we carried on, put it out the vlog because I looked like a complete and utter tits, but never mind.
Because you know probably how many times a day he's heard that, every day of his life. Oh, what camera you got? That's a nice camera. That's nice.
Probably. Unless it was his first day.
Yeah, but he was the only cameraman on it, apparently, according to the credits.
One person, wasn't there?
Apparently, according to the credits, someone said that anyway. But they shot it over a 2-week period, didn't they?
Dave Ainsworth said it, I think. David Ainsworth.
One person.
Yeah, it was David Ainsworth.
Yeah, I think he said there was one person who did it. Yeah.
That's not that uncommon. It's not that uncommon at all. Like
No.
cameramen to like that level are so expensive. They ain't gonna like get multiple. They'll probably get
true.
They'll probably get someone to go around and do like the B-roll, and that's probably about it. And they'll probably get a credit, but not as like cameraman. Else.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no. But yeah, it was a great documentary. We loved it, didn't we? Well,
it was.
Yeah.
And the watch
Joe's documentary was very good.
Yeah, like what we watch along that we did is like 500 views now on YouTube, which is insane. Wow. And we just
considering we're just there,
like just watching.
we're just there watching.
Yeah, 13. Yeah,
I watched it. Like I watched it afterwards.
At least 60% is me just there, like.
Yeah.
Well, I was like, the conversation before and after was pretty good, though. Yeah. And the fact that people came back and stuff, that was pretty.
I was just thinking, like, out of context, like someone just clicking, oh, what's this video then? I don't know what this is about. And then which just does like.
Bunch of guys just sort of sat there.
I was just sat there like, spoiler alert, 13 opens.
Every now and again, it's just Francis Jackson. That.
Yeah.
I think you know that person.
It's Joe! It's Joe!
It was literally spot the enthusiast halfway through. Yeah. I was just like, oh, he's there.
It was great though. It was so cool. And we were saying like on the watch along that they should do more of them. Like they should definitely do.
Yeah, definitely.
I want Pleasure Beach to do one. I don't know why. I just want Pleasure Beach to do one because, like you were saying, Sean, they look like they're not waited to see how guests reacted with the new social distancing measures and stuff. They just literally went straight in and put the things in place. So it'd be interesting to see how their thought process was compared to Towers and Merlin. About Pleasure Beach seemed to like go like what I wouldn't say over the top, but they went above and beyond, like straight out the gate. Whereas like with Merlin, and the other parks, they tend to just go, oh well, this didn't work, so we'll try this. But Pleasure Beach got it right, like straight away. I know there's a lot of criticism saying they were like let too many people in. But then people have not been to Blackpool in the summer because that was not over capacity at all. No. It's just a compact park and it's one of them really. But it really, the last time, so I've been twice this year. I went with you, Joe, and then I went once, and then I went with Sean. But when I went with Sean, that was after lockdown, and I didn't have a freaking clue where to go. I'd like go down one area and it would be blocked off, and I'd have to go back round and. Couldn't go the usual ways that I could go around Blackpool, which was strange for me. So I had to kind of walk around a couple of times, get to Icon, and then walk back and to figure out how to get around for the day.
Yeah, especially with Icon because they cut off that whole section where Icon, so you have to walk all. So you get up to Coaster's restaurant, you can see Icon, and then you have to walk around, but then walk around again. It's like well out of the way to get to it.
But once you knew how to get around it. I thought it worked really well. I thought it worked really well what they'd done.
I did.
Do you think that's going to be a process they'll keep in place for 2021 then, do you think?
I think so.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how it all goes. I think it'll be around for a while, all these sort of stuff. But
and do you think we'll get an opening day? That's the question. Do you think we're going to get the usual sort of...
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think like a lot of these places, they won't know until like a week before. I think they got
a bit
oh, that's true.
I think the parks last time they got like what was it 2 weeks or something? I can't remember.
2 weeks notice.
12. I think it was 12 days. 12 days. I think it was.
But I think they were anticipating it, weren't they? They were thinking there is a chance that this could happen.
But in that 12 days, like we saw in the documentary, they had to bring all the staff back. So like they might have had 2 weeks to sort it out, but they probably only had about 10 days with their actual staff back. After they'd all been retrained and told how to handle the guests and stuff like that.
Like they
take that into consideration.
Yeah, it was like with Chessington, like they were unsure that they were going to do their Halloween event with Creepy K's and anything. Like 6 weeks notice they had. I think they brought all their staff off, the entertainment staff off furlough, and had 6 weeks to turn it around. And like they did such a good job with it. It was so well done. So.
Yeah, I got told they made, obviously because I like Oktoberfest a lot. Yeah. They came up with that event within about 3 weeks or so.
The one at Thorpe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because Because they were planning that. Well, what I heard was obviously Alton Towers announced it already, didn't they? And then thought were going to announce it, but then lockdown was announced, so then they didn't. But then I think, I think it was such a short decision when they went, shall we just run it? And then they did it. And then to pull off that in such a short amount of time is crazy, really. It's absolutely mental. But they did such a good job of it in terms of like, so Thorpe and Alton Towers did such a good job of like basically turning Oktoberfest into like Fright Nights and Scarefest. I thought that was a genius idea. Like,
scary sausages at Alton Towers. Yeah. When I first saw that, I was a bit like, could they have done better there? But it's still, they've utilised it well.
Boozy though. One
thing I really appreciated about Oktoberfest at Towers is that there were the shipping containers there, prepping, in prep for the mazes for Scarefest and stuff. But they weren't intrusive on the atmosphere at all.
Yeah.
No, they weren't.
Yeah.
That's the thing I've always been annoyed at about. I've always liked the subspecies maze, but I always thought it was such an eyesore because they start getting prepared in like July, I think it is. So like you get the beautiful towers, and then they just stick a load of shipping containers to the side of it for like most of summer.
Yeah,
just makes it look, just ruins it, doesn't it?
It does ruin
the front of it, yeah.
And obviously they have to shut off all the bits that you can go around the towers for, but you have to do that anyway. But apparently it's not coming back again. That maze isn't going to come back. I think they might give it like 5 years, and then maybe they'll bring it back because I think people will tend to miss it. But yeah, I won't miss seeing it. The containers there, like you said.
To be honest with you, I've got to say, I'm not sorry to see it go, to be honest. Out of all the mazes, if the likes of Altonville went, or say, the Attic Towers, I'd be sad to see those go. But to see subspecies go, nah.
Yeah. I was going to say, don't
Project 42 as well.
Don't get rid of mine tours, because I got scammed at Scarefest.
Oh, you didn't do it, did you?
Oh, basically. I didn't get scammed. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but we went into the queue for. I did Freak Show Toxic. It was amazing, like a really good maze.
It is, yeah. Really, really
and then we went to 13, I think, because it was night ride on that, and the queue social distance would have been about 40 minutes, but it ended up taking 75, and from that we were still half an hour away, and that would be closing time. So we were just like, okay, we're leaving this queue, and then I didn't get time to do Attic or.
So you left the queue as well?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
I got a night ride on Wicker Man. I'll take a night ride on Wicker Man, but I didn't get to do.
Night ride on 13 is boss though.
It is really good.
So good.
I mean, like, it's a shame that you missed the mazes because you hadn't done before either, have you?
I've done Attic. I've done Altonville.
Yeah,
that's my favorite. Closed that day.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the electrical problem that was.
Yeah.
I heard it from a good source that because they moved the location this year, they were running off a different electrical supply, and it's just been down. But I don't understand how they couldn't sort that out in like the 5 days it was down. Like,
I have no idea, mate.
It's mad. Like, I mean, I'm not a Sparky, so it probably is very hard. In my head, I'm like, you never heard that expression, Sparky, for electricity?
I've not heard it in so long. That's why I'm laughing.
It was just off the cuff, wasn't it? It was just rolled off the tongue.
Oh, these just roll off my tongue, Yeah.
We got Mike and Fop in the chat. Kieran's in.
There we go, Kieran. How you doing? CoasterBot's in the chat as well. I didn't hear that. Yeah. How you doing, Coaster Bot?
Evening, guys. Evening.
Everyone's in.
Coaster Connection in there as well.
Danielle's in as well. Hi, Dan.
I've not been looking at the chat. I always miss the chat.
Yeah, check back to the chat to questions. I
think someone said for me to rate Rita. I think we know that answer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I would know, genuinely, if it was a video, I'd give it a 0. But because I'll be serious, it's probably about a 6. If 10's the max.
I'd say that's pretty fair, to be honest.
It's not that bad.
It isn't.
It's not.
To be honest, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad at all.
It's just a bit boring.
I think it's
the launch is sick, but the rest of it
bad. Yeah, I don't think it's bad. I just think it's like it's not
up there with the other coaster towers.
It's a bit short and a bit uneventful, but I mean, it does what it's supposed to do. It gives you a sense of speed. Yeah, it does.
I feel like it was. I don't know if it is meant to do what it's meant to do. I feel like it was meant to be an Intamin Blitz, and it's. Do you know what I mean? It's like that's kind of what I feel like it was meant to be.
Replace it with an Intamin Blitz.
The old concept art for it, because there isn't many plans for it, looks like it was a lot steeper and a lot higher in places as well.
Yeah.
And I think they were just like, nope, just squashed it down in like SketchUp and then threw it in the Dark Forest. Like, there you go. It should have been. It should have been a lot more.
There's that old rumor, isn't there? Which I doubt it's true.
Stealth and Rita together.
Yeah, like it's just like chopped in half, and then they put them on each part. Like, imagine if they actually did that.
That would be cool, but I doubt that's true.
It's definitely not true.
I can still see them pulling it out though later. Sort of in years to come, and actually just replacing it with an Intamin Blitz. Because one, I feel it's like a whole area that could be well utilized in terms of a sort of theme that would work with that. And two, there is a lot of space to kind of go between the trees and launch and everything else, and have a lot of unique elements. So I think.
Do you think Merlin will actually make that investment now?
No, probably not. No, Merlin, no.
Well, it depends if London Resort opens. If they do, they're going to have a fire under their ass.
Yeah, that's the best thing about
really
opening.
That's a good point.
Seriously big fire under their ass.
Yeah. Definitely.
But I don't know if that could potentially spell disaster for Thorpe though, because they could be like, so close.
If they don't put an RMC in, chat's just exploded.
What's this? 2018 me? What's going on?
You're trying to kill me.
Yeah, literally. Like if Thorpe don't make a new coaster soon, like, and London Resort goes ahead.
Well, it's fenced off, and surveyors have been seen on site now apparently.
I'm 100% it's going to go ahead.
I think it's going to happen.
I'm pretty much.
But it probably won't happen now because we were all just like, nah, it's not going to happen. Got this far, and then we're like, oh, it's going to happen now. And then
no one.
I guess it's just moving more towards a matter of when. Realistically, like how many years from now are we gonna give it?
Probably won't be 2025, probably more like 25, 26, but it probably is going to happen now, I'd say.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of them projects that just keeps getting pushed back and back and back, but I think it will come to fruition eventually.
It'll be open in 2030.
Yeah. CoasterBot said Dark Forest is awfully utilised. After the cable snapped on Rita, they added that tunnel, which made it fill the whole... That's true, it split up that whole area.
It really did. It split the entire area into...
And then put arcades all around it.
Thing is, if you think about it, because there's that... I don't know if it's a rumour or it's actual fact, but Rita was supposed to go to Oakwood.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, so if that's true, if Rita actually went to Oakwood and they had that as part of its lineup, I think Rita would be rated as decent in UK standards.
It would. I think it'd be rated higher than it is.
Yeah, exactly. But because it's at Towers and you've got all the other rides around it, like every single other ride in the park, it's just shunned quite badly.
I mean, if you're going to stick something like Rita in the place where you got Nemesis and the Smiler, then it's just not going to...
Yeah, exactly.
It's just not going to perform, is it?
I mean, the problem Towers have got now, like Smiler and Wicker Man, just mad rides.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
What's next? If it's not a water ride, I don't know what it's going to be. Like,
I always say I just want an indoor, like something like Valhalla. But like, do you know what I mean? But doesn't get you absolutely soaked, and it's just like a world-class dark ride.
Not asking for much. Something like Valhalla, but doesn't get you wet.
doesn't get you soaked.
I'll tell you
the difference between being wet and
Valhalla. I don't think Valhalla's going to get soaked anymore, man.
I'll tell you what. Like, I just want a gyro swing where Blade is.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I did that on my Forbidden Valley reimagined.
You did? I remember seeing that.
There. I had it going over the valley and coming back. So
really?
That was crazy. Yeah.
I still think Towers are going to get one of those at some point. I just think it's more a matter of when.
I think the extension is definitely coming at the car park behind Galactica. Yeah. I think that's definitely that's why we did that competition for No Limits, like, because I think that's where it's going to be. And some of the entries we had for that were insane, crazy stuff. And I'm like, they've got a lot. It's
perfect
to do it.
It's perfect area for it because it would draw everyone back up to that area of the park. Like, even though like there's still great like rides up there, sometimes you can go up there and you're just like, it's absolutely dead around here, but you go to like Dark Forest and etc.
I was just thinking
13's round like, all the time recently. Like,
I was just thinking like that for Forbidden Valley, like how much of the reason why it's never really like anywhere close to as populated as the other areas of the park. How much of the reason why do you equate to the fact that in terms of walking distance,
I know why.
it's so much further away from like the
That's
front and
why.
back and the middle of the park than
It
like
feels
miles away from
the
entrance.
It's
Well,
so far away.
It feels
In
longer
comparison.
than it actually is because you're going through
Yeah.
like trees. Do you know what I mean? When you're walking
Yeah,
up,
it
when you
feels
walk
like a
into the
hike.
entrance up to like X sector, that's a pretty decent walk.
Yeah.
But there's just so much to see on the way, isn't there?
Yeah.
Whereas you go down there, it's just like it's a really nice walk. I enjoy
trees,
it.
trees,
I
more
think,
trees.
I think when
At
you
the
go
end
to
of the
Forbidden
day-
Valley, I think you've got to be in the mindset that I'm going on Nemesis, I'm going on Black
yeah.
and I'm not going to get stopped by going to Wicker Man. I'm not going to stop by going by Jewel or running away in my train.
It's not an area that you can just like pass by on the way to something else.
Yeah.
Like your end destination is Forbidden Valley because there's no going any further.
Yeah. I mean, unless you take a detour off round, you go like round your detour to like Jewel and stuff. But
I was going to say, who doesn't walk past Jewel to go to Forbidden Valley and go, let's have a go on Jewel.
Shoot some zombies.
Every time.
Exactly.
Every time.
There's no queue. There's hardly any queue for it though. Like
even on busy days, it has somewhat of a queue coming out of the building, and it just takes about 5 minutes.
So it's pretty much walking all the time.
Alton needs an indoor coaster. Yeah, I agree, Kieran. It would be cool. It would be really cool.
It would be, and
it
would fit in perfect as well because they wouldn't have any problems with sound.
No.
The height issue wouldn't be a problem because it'd like dig down and stuff. But it would be perfect. What I don't understand why we don't have more indoor coasters in this country when it rains all the time.
Walking
We have a problem with noise levels everywhere.
Exactly.
It's mad. I think it's just very hard to build them, isn't it? Because you like to build the buildings and stuff. I don't know, but it does
massive footprint off of them.
A lot of pressure to the budget.
That's the thing, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. It's a bit very expensive. But you got to think in long term, like it protects the coaster. It's not going to be like it's protected from like the elements more. So surely it's going to have like a bit of a longer life and
it's not going to need repainting either because you're not going to see it. Exactly.
Let's turn a family coaster into a thrill advertisement marketing.
But I think before
I do miss the rave coaster at Thorpe though. I do miss X. X was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I did that. Like one time I was just like, I might as well do it because it's still like it's just there. And then it went down for that long period where it had refurbishment into its new X.
Yeah.
And then it went to Walking Dead. So I think that was a bit pointless. But Walking Dead's not too bad. It's annoying. It's kind of it's gone this year, but hopefully it'll be back next year. Maybe.
No, I didn't get to do it because obviously it was closed. I've still not done Derren Brown's Ghost Train either.
Still haven't done Derren Brown?
I've not been down. So I went down this year.
Mad.
I've not been down. To be honest with you, mate, I was fed up with Thorpe because they're not. No coasters,
they're not doing anything. Yeah, I get that.
It doesn't draw me down. I'm all the way in Manchester, so
it's a long way for you, isn't it?
That is 100 quid on the train, and then 30, 40 quid after that to actually get there. Yeah, it's mental.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
No. But
still, you need to work. Everyone needs to live in the Midlands because then you're just so close to everything.
Legit,
that's the best thing.
Unless Scotland open up some mad theme park like
M&D's. Come on. M&D's is great. What do you mean? Isn't that gone now? I'm pretty sure it's gone.
They've opened it back up. I think.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if they've opened. Yeah, it's open up.
Okay. My bad.
Can I not just go down to Thorpe, take my own VR headset, and then go on Derren Brown? Like, I'm sure that'd be alright. Just on my own.
Social distancing.
Social distance on my own, and then
that's perfectly fine with nowadays standards. Yeah, that sounds good. Get that arranged. Just email someone at Thorpe. I don't know.
I've got my own headset. Just give me the program. I'll load it up. I'm off. So I'll do it. And then
I think I think Walking Dead I think that's quite underrated, to be honest. I think it's a good all-round experience. Like it's not an amazing coaster, but it's just like a cool
and when they have the actors at the end, it is genuinely quite I wouldn't say scary, but it's a nice touch to add to the end of the ride when you get off.
It I wasn't expecting it, like, because everyone kept talking about it, so I assumed that it was like in the first half of the queue, because it
I was
like
going to say,
maze.
yeah, that first half really should have had an actor in it, because that would have benefited so much from that.
Yeah, because it really builds attention up when you're going through that bit, and then nothing happens. So then I was like, oh, they've probably not got the actors on today. Get off the coaster, and then they're just everywhere. And I was just like, was not expecting that. But yeah, awesome. Like when they first did it, like I got off, we was last on the train and we got off it, and then this girl just like ran straight back out, knocked into me. I like fell back on the train like that, and I was just like, health and safety, guys, not good.
Oops.
Let's not get HSE in here.
No, that's not good. Feedback Matty put is something we were talking about Rita before. So if Oakwood lineup was Rita, Megaphobia, and Megaphobia, Oakwood would be highly rated. But the question is, guys, what would have been in Rita's place? Because Alton wouldn't have gotten a clone. That's a good question.
Anything would be better.
What would have been in Rita's place at Towers?
I don't think they should have done Rita. I think they should have done more. They should have built 13, but made it.
Just added stealth to the top.
Yeah.
Why not?
Just
go with the rumors.
Why not? But I mean, can you imagine 13 if it was that little bit longer before it went into the crypt? Came back on itself a bit more.
That's my main thing.
So good.
That's all it needs.
Give it a launch.
Take the freaking trims off. Like you wouldn't
no, give it
so long.
When it comes out of the crypt, just give it a launch, because it genuinely does that into the station. Give it a launch, go elsewhere with it into the forest.
Into the station.
It's faster acceleration than an icon.
Launch into the station. That's always been my thing about 13. Just I love the drop track. I love how
spoilers
or like
that is fine.
For who watches this doesn't know.
If you haven't got it by now, what are you doing?
What's 13 doing again?
Like I love like, you know, the drop track, the backwards bit, the backwards part, like all of that. It's just everything before that, or like the lack thereof, everything before that. Because
it is a bit short.
Yeah. It's just really
I think it's a good night ride, just because the night like, it turns it into something even more like. Because I love that. I kind of do like that whole going, just like a nice steady like ride through the trees. I think it's really cool.
The only thing about the night ride that I dislike is the fact that when you go down the drop, the camera just blinds you and you can't see until the first airtime.
It makes everything way darker. Then you're basically just you're in an indoor coaster at that point.
There you go. That's how Towers have done it. That's how Towers have done it.
Coaster, Kieran. What are you on about?
Exactly.
The only one thing that sort of first section could have maybe benefited from was a bit more theming, you know, sort of near-miss elements, maybe a few wraiths in the trees, that sort of thing.
Yeah, 100%.
It's the only thing it's really lacking. You know, if it had that, it'd be more.
The queue line lacks that a little bit.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't know. I like the queue line. I think it's done just right, because I feel like it put like for who it's for, like, you know, it's a kids coaster. Well, it's family coaster. So I've seen kids like crying in that line, so it's already too scary for them.
That's because of the soundtrack, and you got the creepy girl just going 13, like, and then just shouting at you.
I think it's a lot scarier than us adults.
But what I meant was like if you just put like little tunnel bits in it as well, like you know that how Galactica has them little where you just walk through them. Just went off in them, like. Maybe like I don't know, like a video footage of something in a dark forest going on. Maybe like,
I got told something. I don't know if you guys know about it, but I didn't know about this before I heard about it. But if you go through the 13 queue line, there's 13 gravestones.
Yes, there is,
and it counts up as you go along.
I've heard that before.
We were trying to look for them in that queue that took 75 minutes, and I remember Danny, because we were with CoasterGen, he turned his flash on, and then someone behind us went, "Are you looking for the will to live?" Because we were stuck in there for so long.
Wow! I was thinking, wow.
It took a while, but we were trying to search them. I think I saw the number 7. That's what I saw. So they're obviously hidden quite well.
Yeah. I've never seen them. I've heard that they're there. But I've never.
This is the issue with 13 queue line is the fact that I love that the coaster itself is like hidden away, but it also makes the queue incredibly boring. Like like most of the other rides you go onto, you're around the ride,
and that's my point.
It passes time, like, doesn't it? Like And so it's that 13Q can be like really tiresome sometimes in there for that long.
When I went in September, like me and the people that we were with, we always made it a point to go on for 13 to be like one of the first coasters that we ride each day, if not the first, because like it was walk on like first thing in the morning, but it was only going to get just packed out. More packed out throughout the rest of this. Was like just knocked out.
That whole area is just so packed, like all
it's rammed.
the time.
I don't know what it is.
All the time.
I don't know what it is.
Because everyone's been intrigued to Rita.
Yeah.
It's a joke, but it's true. It's true.
Rita,
a lot of people go on Rita.
Because Rita looks great off ride. It's like any launch.
It's like fast. It's like scary. Everyone.
Just like we need to do that. So, but talking about when you're saying like spoilers for 13, it's like I don't know if anyone's had this experience where you've got a friend or something. But you've got a friend where you want to do you know what it is at the end? No. So you're like, let's keep it a secret. And then from that point, I'm like, every time someone's discussing it around me, I'm like, shut up. Don't listen to it.
That's happened multiple times.
Shush.
Your brain's just like, don't say it.
What's he on about drop track? That doesn't happen.
Don't say it, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it.
Yeah.
So maybe you guys can clear this up for me then. Aaron seems to be convinced that apparently somewhere in the 13Q line there is a tree which is made out of metal, basically, which is made from old parts of the corkscrew track kind of melted down and remolded, because apparently when they were removing corkscrew, a lot of enthusiasts kicked off about it. So they said that they made this space, it's like a statue of like a tree out of metal, so that
they already have it at the front.
Yeah.
I know, exactly.
It's a curly
so
tree.
I mean, is that really a thing, or is that literally just something that is
No, what happened was
would be cool.
What happened was an enthusiast tied themselves to it, so they just left him on there. And there's actually a skeleton on that bit now. And
that's where 13 came from.
That's what happens when you go in the
that girl in the promo advert, innit?
Because I know that somewhere in the chat Aaron's probably watching, so I thought I'd just ask the question.
I never heard of that.
Never heard that.
That's big call if it was.
I'd never heard that up till I mentioned it. So
and it's closed now, so I can't even go like next week and have a look for it.
We've literally spent like all season trying to look for it, and to be fair, I've not found it yet. So I don't know, but.
Well, I'll have to look out for it. Really, I wish there was like way more. There was quite a lot of Easter eggs at Alton Towers, but I wish there was more. You know what I mean? I wish there was more little things around. But we don't get that really.
I always find it strange that they left the trough in for the log flume.
Yeah, that is really weird.
Is it because
they need to do something about that?
It's sat there dormant, isn't it?
It's just it's sat there in half, like literally. I was looking at it last time I went. I was like,
concrete
Danielle,
trough.
see that there? That was what the log flume like. Oh, why did they get rid of it with Wickerman? I was like,
because Wickerman's way better.
Yeah, it's a big area. You don't realise how big that area was for them.
Oh yeah,
massive,
man, massive. But
if they could build a coaster on the footprint of the log flume in that area, just that bit there, that alone would be pretty big. If they've got permission to build on the line.
Well, maybe they're keeping it there just so it's like they can easily replace it like very quickly, and like I don't know, like maybe they just think, or I don't know, they just can't bother.
Or maybe they just maybe they're just thinking. I think they're keeping the footers in so they're allowed to build in that area. At some
that's
point.
what I think. That's more. That was what I was thinking about it anyway.
You know what? That sounds most likely.
Yeah. Honestly, I do, and they mark trees out there a lot as well. On that walkway up to it was a service road, wasn't it? Yeah. You can't build in the area where the log flume used to go. It's protected, I think. Perhaps why?
Oh, the bloody fireworks!
But how can it be protected now? So it wasn't protected when.
Hold up, 2 seconds.
Wait. Oh, he's gone.
All right.
He's gone to shout at the neighbours about the fireworks.
Stop firing gunpowder!
That's a good question though, Sean. Like, was it not protected when Flume was there?
Yeah, I do. I heard that it is protected around there, but I don't.
Didn't Towers build it themselves? Like, I watched the expedition.
The Flume.
Yeah, Towers.
What Flume?
Yeah, I think they made the ride. I think Towers made the log flume.
I just assumed it was like Mac or something.
Theme park. Towers.
Oh
yeah.
I think so.
Nah.
So Harry said, it became protected land during the time that So Flume must have just been built before it became protected.
Right, that makes sense.
So the
I didn't realise it was that old.
That's crazy. That is like so many like restrictions at towers. That's ridiculous. Like, who's gonna see that? Seriously, what does it? The fact
that they just destroyed, like, was it like that super old wood? It was like 1,000-year-old wood for the HS2. And we can't get rid of like a couple of trees for like a coaster. Like, it's just mental. Like, it's just so weird.
Yeah, I think it was Matt, but I think they actually did. Sam said something. I can't remember what it is now. But yeah,
we'll have to rewatch it again.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a great documentary that Sam did as well.
Yeah, it's good. Looking forward to his next one. Actually, it's the Wicker Man, isn't it? Next, I think.
I don't know if it's next, but it's soon.
It's soon.
I've got that submission video that he uploaded in my watch list.
I'll watch that.
I still haven't gotten to it.
That's good. It's great.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, that is a really good one.
Has Dan literally gone for a fight with his neighbours? Like,
you're not
wrong. It's back.
What time?
Oh, what do they think they are? They're setting off fireworks. What day do they think it is? Is it Christmas? What's going on?
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Ho ho ho.
All right, okay. So we've been going for almost 45 minutes exactly, and we've not even asked Dan what he's been up to this season. So I think we should ask him.
Yeah. No, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's gonna be a good conversation in either way.
Go on, Sean. What?
I was going to say Cosmic Rewind.
Oh yeah.
Before we get to that,
Guardians.
Yeah, let's do a rewind first.
Okay.
Just because they we don't need to do it quickly, but they are badass.
Yeah, thank you.
Here they come.
I missed that. Sorry.
The new Guardians trains. There you go. You guys should be able to see that now on the podcast. Yeah, they look awesome.
Yeah, they look.
The
lap
bars look massive. They're huge. They're like
seats look comfy.
Like, yeah, they do. But
yeah, very comfy.
If you look at the size of where she sat there, like how much room there is.
Yeah, well, they got like without sounding like really offensive, they do have to accommodate for like lots of different sizes in America. Mm-hmm. It makes sense for them to have that in mind.
The only coaster I've been on in America is, well, not the only coaster, but a Togo. So yeah.
Oh, fun.
That's been my American experience with rides coaster. But yeah, no, they look awesome.
Not quite the comprehensive experience there.
Yeah, I was going to say you might need a bit more padding on a Togo for that. Actually,
a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. So, Mikhile, you know quite a bit about this ride, right? Guardians.
Do I? I mean,
no.
I mean, I feel like with this, there's probably the least to know. The least that's been, put out to the public out of the ones opening next year and in 2022 and stuff. But like, I mean, I said this. Shout out to Harry as well. Like he read out my comment on Coasterbot Rambles when they were talking about it. But I think that Cosmic Rewind is probably the most intriguing out of all the ones that are going to open in Florida soon, because it's the one we know the least about. Mm-hmm. And I kind of just feel like with things that I've heard, things that are rumored to be included in it, I just feel like there's the most potential for it to be one of the best experiences Florida has to offer, or one of the worst. Like it could be super, super high quality, or it could be a complete flop.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, Rise of Resistance will take some beating. Like that is.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that ain't gonna be beaten for a long time.
That's but everything Disney were putting out, because I like to tell people I've done Rise of Resistance, guys.
Wish I could say
not to flex or anything.
But the same day I did that, I did like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which opened just that day, which was where the whole Hollywood studio tour. What was it? Hollywood. Yeah, that the whole ride was. I've slipped my mind now, but even like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway was absolutely amazing. Like for like a trackless stock ride,
good.
It's really well
fun.
done.
Yeah,
it feels like very immersive, like you're in an actual like the old school Mickey. Well, it's the new style Mickey and Minnie cartoon series, but it feels like you're in a cartoon. It's incredible what they've done.
It's crafted off the what is it? The Mickey and Minnie shorts.
Yeah, the short ones they do, which are the newer versions, and they are really good actually, like little shorts actually. But they like everything Disney are doing at the minute, like it never fails to like a maze. Like honestly, like so you always go, is it going to be that good? And then they come out with it, and it's just like, wow, that's something.
Yeah,
and
I love the fact that it kind of sets off like a train, and then it kind of like
it
does what it does and sort of splits off. And
because
cool.
for those who don't know, they're trackless cars, but they're at the start you're actually on a train and Goofy's taking you around, and then suddenly they just break off. It's really, really impressive. But like even that, they've got like you go into a pit bit where there's a screen, and like it's a bit like you're going around and stuff, and you come out of it, and they use like wind and everything. It is good. It is good. But like you say, Mikhile, this does look interesting just because we don't know much about it. They were building it when I was last at Epcot, but they had the boards everywhere, and like I didn't even know anything about it at that point.
Did you get to see the size of the show building?
Yeah, it's absolutely huge. Absolutely huge.
It looks massive on video. I can't imagine what it looks like in person.
It's next door. It's next door to Mission Space. Is that what it's called? Mission
Spaceship Earth.
No, Spaceship Earth, and then this is next door to the. It's like a really rubbish version of like what's it called? Like it's like a simulation type thing where you spin around and it just makes you well sick.
Mission Space.
Yeah, Mission Space is something like that, but that needs ripping out. That's an awful ride.
It can fit 4 Spaceship Earths inside it. Jamage just said in the chat.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's it. What if you can fit 4 Spaceship Earths inside? Okay, it didn't look that big to me, but maybe it is. Like, but yeah,
that's a lot of
that's
a lot of space.
That Spaceship Earth is massive. I don't see how.
Maybe it means the ride hardware inside.
Maybe, maybe.
For the show
not the actual dome itself.
I was going to say, like, if you can fit that for them in, that's like ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, Dan.
All right.
What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Well, done a couple things. The usual. Thought Park, Alton Towers. I've been Thought Park way too many times this year.
I've not been enough.
Fright Nights, Oktoberfest, of course, and then before that as well. Same with Towers. I got to go to Energylandia for the first time. That was pretty mental.
How was that?
Oh, it was so good. Again, CoasterGen went with him, and we just had an amazing time. Zarja's my number one because we got a night ride back row.
Yeah,
and it was just mental, like nothing else I've ever done in my life. Hyperion was really good too and stuff. So
I've always wondered the lap bars on an RMC, are they quite tight to your legs then? Do they actually hold you really firm?
Well, because obviously I'm tall, so my legs are quite long. I did most of the time I come off with bruises on my legs.
Nice.
But it was worth it. It was worth it.
You got a seatbelt as well, haven't you? That kind of goes over, and then you got your restraint as well.
Although the weirdest thing about Poland was that when obviously single rider in the UK doesn't exist, and I went on it by myself, and I had to sit next to some. This was during this whole thing happening. This was in August, so I just had to sit next to some random guy who I don't know on Zarja just in the train.
Oh god,
it just didn't feel right compared to normal because I'm not used to single riders existing anymore.
Yeah,
so that was weird.
It's weird that they did.
You went to Phantasialand, didn't you?
When I was in Phantasialand, like it was on a Chapass, and they just crammed us all in this log, this flume. But then everywhere else in the park was like completely the opposite. It was just like you had to be separated. So there was like a weird thing there.
Portaventura, because I did that as well at the start of July. That felt very similar to the UK because they had sanitizer. They were distancing on like rows of rides. I remember Furious Backhoe was literally running every other row at some point, which the capacity of it was awful. And then they kept, every day I went, they kept changing it. So one time they had like every other row. Then the next day it was like people on the left side on the front row, then people on the right side on the second row, people on the left side on the third row, etc. And then they started using every row again. So
after all that, I said, screw this.
Yeah, exactly.
That don't work. That don't work.
Yeah, it was very similar to
they made you wear a mask all the way around there, didn't they?
Oh, as much as I'm not one of those people who shout saying like, "Oh, you shouldn't wear masks." Of course, you should wear masks. It's fine wearing masks and it's safer. But wearing masks in however like 30-degree heat in Spain was.
I feel like when you're just in your bubble and there's no one around, like it seems a bit like you should just be able to like lower it and stuff. But
yeah,
I think you went there when it was quite early on, wasn't it? Where
I think I literally went. I think so all the parks opened July 4th. I think I went on July 8th.
Yeah.
So I went very soon on. I remember.
No time.
I remember Kieran Adams literally sat there. Him and Jack were sitting there thinking I'd photoshopped everything that I was posting on Twitter, which is quite funny.
I had that thought for a second when I first saw it. I was like, "Is he just doing a DigitalDan?" Like, honestly, like
I've been tempted, but no, that was real, and it was very strange compared to going there because I went there last year in September. And then to go back in during COVID, like they had patrol officers going around because a lot of people, because of the heat, were lifting it below their nose just to try and breathe. But they were like, put it back over your nose and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
But I remember, I remember Port Ventura being like, it's not like when you go to Florida where when it's hot there's at least like AC, like quite a lot of places like outside, like they have the fans. Like I remember being in PA, like and not being like that. But
there is quite a bit of air conditioning, to be fair, from my memory. Yeah,
on the outside, because I remember being in the Shambhala, and we was in this really long queue for it, and I remember just seeing this fan and being like waiting like half an hour to get over to it. I mean, like we're getting closer to it. We're here, and then like where the bit in the queue where you want to like be able to see you got the best view, but then you end up walking straight past it. We end up just walking straight past the fan.
Oh my god!
That is usually when I put my GoPro out and I'm like, right, I want this shot.
Yeah.
Oh,
at least
all right.
At least the Port of Ventura.
Literally underneath Nemesis.
At least at Port Ventura, there's it's right next to Salou. It's right by the sea, and it's right by the coast and everything. In Orlando, the closest beach to you is like 60 miles away.
Alligator beach. Find an alligator beach.
You're getting all that humidity and all that moisture and no sea breeze.
Yeah.
One of the hotels we were going to stay at in Kissimmee, we actually checked it out on Google Maps. There's a sign out there that says "Watch out for alligators," literally on the steps of the hotel.
That ain't good.
No, I ain't going out from there.
Hey, let me stay at this hotel.
Yeah.
There's alligators.
It's so normal. Yeah, but to them, like we had when we was in Florida, we had like a bit of an insect problem in the back room. So like the guy come out from like the accommodation and we was talking to him and he was just like, I was like, oh, like are they like a massive problem out here? And he was like, yeah, they're just like just nothing. He's like, what do you get in your country? I was like, foxes. He was like, yeah, you just see them all the time because all the pools have like fencing over them so they don't get into your swimming pool, because that's a really common thing from just to get straight in. Like it's basically swamplands. Like
pretty much. There are so many lakes around there. It is basically just just insect central, rare bird central, #Osprey.
That's like Energylandia when it was late night because it was a 11 p.m. close. That's when we got the night rides, and we were in the queue for Formula, and we were literally getting bitten by mosquitoes left, right, and centre, and we were like trying to scout them out, and then as soon as they land on us, just whacking them, trying to just get rid of them.
Oh god, no! Don't like that.
Yeah, it was a bit.
We have wasps, so it's just as bad.
I was just about to say that, like that Towers documentary, like in summer they get like 40 wasp nest reports a week. Like,
Jesus,
that's mental.
So Dan, what separates you from a nerdy perspective, or a coaster nerd perspective, I suppose? What elevates Zadra above Hyperion for you? Because it seems like a pretty like hot topic when people go to Energylandia. Yeah. From what I've seen anyway. Do they like Hyperion more? Do they like Zadra more? It seems to be pretty competitive. What elevates Zadra for you?
I think it was just the fact that one, I've never done an RMC before.
Yeah.
And it was just like nothing else I've ever experienced. Like I know, Sean, you've done Untamed.
Yeah.
That how like mental these things are.
They are, and it's like RMC are like really good at different things. Like each model seems to be like with Untamed, it's just insane injector airtime. Whereas, I think Zardro is like
it's like the fastest one or something. Yeah, it was just there's I think I'm not sure on the technical name of it, but the one where it like kind of banks that way and then quickly goes that way and then banks back around. I guess it's a wave turn. Yeah, so that bit, never experienced anything like that, and it just whips you one way, whips you the back, and it's just like, what's going on?
So I've ridden Lightning Rod, and that was the first time because Lightning Rod has the same kind of thing. It goes in the opposite direction, goes right to left and then back right, where Zydrus is the opposite way. And it was the first time I'd done something like that as well. And oh my god, it's
you just like you don't know what's happening. It's just you're on it and you're just like you get to the breaker and you're like, what just happened? What?
It takes you by surprise because it looks like a wooden coaster, but it doesn't feel like a wooden coaster. But then it has it messes with your head a little bit.
It's weird because Zardra was like, because it's wooden, and I wasn't expecting it to be like glossy smooth, because obviously like Shambhala, for instance, that's really, really smooth. I'd say Zardra was literally about the same.
Yeah.
Wow.
Smoothness level. It's I don't know how it just was so smooth. It ran so well.
Yeah.
Like Icon's smooth.
Icon's very smooth, yeah.
The thing with me with RMCs, it's like
get one at Thorpe Park.
It's on top of the checklist. It's just like you get off one, like your first time riding one, and it's like coasters shouldn't be able to do this stuff.
I was like, is that illegal?
Yeah.
It's just like so mental.
You might be questioning, how long is this coaster going to last? Because coasters shouldn't be able to coaster train should be able to withstand what RMCs do.
We shouldn't be able to withstand that, let alone the train.
I don't know if it's the way that I built, because I remember I was listening to the ELT podcast with the two founders from RMC. I always forget their names, but one of them was the engineer for Arrow.
Alan Shilkin.
And then who's the actual founder of RMC who did all the
Fred Grubb.
Who did did he work with CCI and things? I can't remember. Anyway, he was saying like the difference with them is that like with a wooden coaster, the supports support the track, whereas with RMC is like it's the other way around. So it's just like they should be able to support itself, and then it's like holding up the supports, but together they like kind of hold each other and just make it super strong. So I don't know if it's just like the fact that they can do it that way just makes it, they just do things that like no one's ever thought of before.
I mean, Intamin, because I know the Wallaby Mega is going to be, it has like an outer banked airtime hill, has some very strange elements compared to normal.
Non-inverted
so they're definitely taking inspiration from RMC. But
definitely.
Yeah, RMC have changed the game really
across the board.
I hope that my one hope for RMC is that they continue to innovate in the sense in terms of the quality of the train, because like while I'm an average height male, so like I'm like 5'10", so I don't really have the problems that taller people have in terms of like the shin guards on your shins being uncomfortable, like the being too tight or anything like that. I don't really have those problems. But if there are so many people that are having those kind of problems, then it's an issue that needs to be addressed. And
I think it is,
I
but
hope they continue to look into that.
Yeah, I hope they do. But I think something like probably like enthusiasts like tend to forget is like they're not making them for us, like they're making them for like the person who's going to do it once.
Very true. That's very true. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like that they're going to do it once in a day. Like if you're going to do it, like when I did Untamed, we did it like 10 times in a day, and I had bruises. Joe had bruises. Like it was like insane. So like I don't know. Like the thing is, like we pick up on these a little bit more than just the general public would like pick up on it and be like, oh, these are uncomfortable. So but I hope they do, like I do hope that they do change it a little bit, because like you, I didn't have any problems with that, but if so many people are feeling that, it needs to be changed, because they used to use was it Gerstlauer trains they used to use?
I think it
was, and
then they started using their own trains. So they've got the power, like they know they can like easily do it. Surely they can just change it up. So it's like they've got their own warehouse and stuff. It's not like they've got to like talk to Gerstlauer and say, can we change this and that? It's like, you know,
physically
but because they're not using Gerstlauer, maybe it's their learning curve now. So each time they do one, it will get better. It'll get a different generation of train, and it'll just keep getting better.
I mean, that's the hope, isn't it?
Yeah, I just want Millennium Flyers on there and be amazing.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
If you don't want them to last too long, then yeah, sure.
The Coasterbots just put RMC trains are just too old school. When every other manufacturer is building open trains like Terren and such, RMC ones are too confined and restrictive. Yeah, very good point. They are in comparison to the other trains.
I like.
They do look like that.
I'm in two minds about that, because I kind of do like the sort of idea that like they resemble wooden coaster trains.
Yeah, that's the whole point, isn't it?
Yeah. I like that too. To be fair,
like the boxiness of it, like the boxiness.
I like that about it. It kind of does reinforce the sort of far-fetched idea of a wooden coaster doing these ridiculous elements and going upside down, which you just don't see on traditional wooden coasters. But at the same time, when you're comparing the seating experience and I suppose the ergonomics of it to like the likes of a Max seat and restraint or an Intamin new gen seat and restraint, like it's.
I mean, they are two completely separate design of coaster trains, aren't they? You know, you've got
it's like
a box one and you've got. Yeah,
because I've said this before, but I think like the Intamin trains, to me, they look ugly. I feel like they look so
bulky.
Yeah, I think they look bulky. Yeah, I think they look so.
Terren's trains are just
like mounted office chairs.
They look. Nice, don't get me wrong. The theming of them look good, but I just feel like it's just.
Wait on.
Gotcha.
I feel like I like the design of the trains, don't get me wrong, but I've always just felt like Intamin trains in general for me, like they just look like, I don't know, like a kind of like a disabled toilet seat on top of a track. Like it's so like top heavy. It's just like
that's one way to describe it.
Put this seat on top of it, and I don't know. I just don't think they look very sleek.
Do you know what? I actually do kind of see what you're saying.
Yeah,
like,
the bulky man, the bulky trains.
Especially with the hydraulic, the accelerator trains before these new gen ones.
Yeah,
the back of the seat does look a little bit too upright.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm just like. Because
it's weird how when you sit in it, it's like it's really comfortable, but when just off ride,
This is the thing. This is like everyone has different. Like obviously, it feels so comfy, but when I go to parks, I'm filming all the time. I'm seeing the difference between what everything looks like, and I just every time I film like an Intamin, I'm just like they look so like bulky on top. They don't look sleek. I like seeing sleek designs, and I don't know. Like for me, I wouldn't change it. Don't get me wrong, because like you say, like
that's so
the whole
comfortable.
Point for Terren as well, it's meant to be like a battering ram, isn't it? That's what it's meant to be.
Something like that.
Something to say about that is like so like Terren has like raised heartline seats on it, which may contribute to the idea of like the train not looking so streamlined, and like the seats are maybe visually like off first glance.
But that's why it rides so good.
Yeah, like looking a little bit too far away from the floor of the train. So like I do get that a bit.
I was going to say as well, if the train, like the seats were a bit closer to the floor, do you think the near misses and head choppers wouldn't be as effective?
It'd be still effective, but
I guess if they did it, if they went back
to back, I think to find out if it would be.
I think with the raised heartline seats, with the raised heartline seats, it's more so just because like your feet aren't touching the floor of the train, are they? Like your feet are dangling.
Oh yeah.
Like it makes it sort of just reinforces the more open, free kind of feeling that you have.
Yeah.
Right.
It's so
but then like looking at something like Pantheon, which actually has a lower heartline seat setup than Terren does. Like what you were saying, Sean, about just like the overall sleekness. that you like about trains and stuff. I really like Pantheon's train because of how sleek it looks.
Yeah, it looks the new gen. It looks so much nicer, and they do look
like
sleek.
It's got a more streamlined nose on the front car, and with the lower Heartline seats, it does kind of contribute to.
What do you think of Velocicoasters?
Very Mac-like, I think.
What do you think of Velocicoasters?
I've not seen the trains.
I've seen like an animation of it.
The animation reveal of it.
Did they?
Oh, I wasn't sure who you were asking. It was in the video announcement that they did. I think they look so good. I wasn't sure about them at first. When I saw them in the early concept art, I was like, I'm not sure.
How did I miss this?
Then I don't know. We actually played it. I think we played it during one of the.
Maybe I was just like really drunk.
Maybe.
It's like Pleasure Beach all over again.
I've got issues. Oh no, I remember this now. Yeah.
I was gonna say I feel like you will have seen it. You just might not remember.
Yeah, no, I remember it. I thought like real life we saw them, but no, like they do look nice. Yeah, they look a lot better.
I really like them now.
All right, so that was Dan's trip to Energylandia.
Yeah, we went off like.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
So you enjoyed that trip out there. What else did you get up to then? Like
I said, did Portaventura quite early on. I went to Chessington for the first time in about 6-7 years.
Nice.
Which was all right. It was good. It's just for some reason I'm not a big fan of Vampire.
Oh,
really?
I don't know why. I went on it and it was just a little bit jolty, just a bit headbangy sort of. And got to the end, and I was on my own on a row because we were like 3 of us, so taking it in turns. Yeah, that as well.
I got to the end, and that was it.
That added to the ride. But I got to the end, and as you kind of, do you know how it has like the thing to, I don't know what technical term for it is, but the trains like line up so they go in straight. Yeah. When that went in, my whole car just banged to the side.
Yeah, it does happen.
And I wasn't expecting it. I was like, oh, ow. But it's still a good ride, but it's just not as good as I remember.
I've still not been yet.
I feel like for me, Vampire is like one of them rides that gets better every time I ride it. Like when I first did
fair.
I was like, obviously the first time I did it was this year, so like I didn't have like the pleasure of riding it when it's like a bit newer, so I didn't like know what it felt like. But the first time I did it, I was like, this is janky as hell, and like it's so surprising because like you kind of just like 1 minute it's Galactica, like the next minute it's like Nemesis, and you're just like, what are you trying to be like? Make your mind up, man. Like so you just like, it's a bit surprising, but then I did it again and I really liked it because I knew what I was in for. And I think I can understand why people don't really enjoy it that much, but I don't know, it's one of them where it was what you like out of a coaster, isn't it? Because I think because I grew up, we said this the other week, that age-old battle between like Inferno and Nemesis.
Inferno.
It's just like, if you
Nemesis.
But that's because you've got a girlfriend, Dan.
How does that work?
Your opinion was different before Ellie. No, joking.
To be fair, that is true, but it's just that ride has just grown on me.
I can't understand why people.
It will do if you go to FARP 900 times in one season.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and to be fair, actually, I had my first ride on it this year, and actually, I really enjoyed it. But
we had a sick ride.
We really.
I think it's hit and miss, isn't it? It's like a lot. It's like even Nemesis is hit and miss. Like I happened to have like a bad ride on it. Like when I went last time I went, like in terms of tameness. But I said this last week. I was like, I can understand why people would prefer Inferno over Nemesis, just because it feels so much smoother. It's like, and if that's what you like out of a ride, that's fine. But I think because I grew up with Nemesis,
I was gonna say
I like everything just to be like crazy.
I was just about to say, Dan, do you feel some like sentimental value to it with it being your local and that? And
I'd say for some reason, well, with me, it used to be a lot of whichever rides are closest to me rate higher in my top 10. It's just how it was because I could ride them loads. But between Inferno and Nemesis, I'd just say that over time, just rode Inferno a lot more. I've had a night ride on Nemesis and now Inferno, and Inferno just was way more crazy for me. But it's not. It's very close. I'd say the experience of Nemesis is better because you're obviously going into the rocks and going throughout the terrain, etc. But Inferno is, in my opinion.
But it's all
just to you personally.
It's also like the frame of mind you're in when you ride these things. Like if you do something more, and like you say, like you kind of you tend to attach memories to it as well.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like if I've had like an amazing day at Towers, like, you know, I can go on Rita and be like, that was amazing.
Yeah.
If I did a terrible time
that makes sense.
Towers,
that makes sense.
I'll go on Rita and be like, this is the worst park ever. Like, you know what I mean? So it is like we can go around like ranking coasters all the time, but a lot of the time it's just like
it's just your experience.
It's your experience, your personal experience. But Nemesis is better. Moving on.
Fair enough. I respect that opinion. But I promise you, it's not because of Ellie.
Nah, I'm only kidding.
I know. It's all good.
No, it triggers. Kyle, it triggers me when people say Nemesis is better because it's not.
The Swarm's decent, right? Anyway,
Swarm is very good. I like the Swarm. I'll get behind that.
So, Oktoberfest.
Oh, don't get me started.
Probably one of your favorite things you have covered on your channel. One of the favorite events you've been to.
Where's your hat?
I feel like I said.
There it is.
I might have said this.
I'll keep on for a bit.
Yeah, keep on for a bit.
I feel like I saw more posts of you at Thorpe Oktoberfest than I did from people who were legally able to drink at Oktoberfest.
Water.
Yeah, water. That's the whole thing. Yeah, I was just like, every time I went, everyone I went with would just get a pint, or my girlfriend get a pint, and then I'm just there with smart water away.
Pint of H2O, yay!
Yeah, exactly. But Oktoberfest is like Towers. I didn't have a very good experience with because I went on one of the days because it was the only day I went to Oktoberfest at Towers, but it was one of the days where they didn't have the live band because it was in midweek.
Yeah.
So it was. I'm going to take this off. It wasn't like the best event. Like I had that experience there. It wasn't that great for me. But I'm sure if I went back on one of the weekends where it'd be like late night close, etc., would be very good. But the ones I had at Thorpe, oh my god, the atmosphere was just so good. The fact they did the ride overlays, they had Bavarian bingo on some of them, which was just really good.
I wish I could have
the music around the place. That one area where everything really was like the beer bar, etc., was just. I say etc. a lot. But
so do I. It's all good.
But that one area was just like, as much as I couldn't drink beer, getting a bratwurst, some water, just seeing the live band, and just like there was some roaming actors as well with like a little instrument thing. There's been some like really cool interaction as well with that. One of the actors came up to me and was just like speaking in the German accent and just went, I thought you were digital only. I was like, oh my god. But yeah, it's just such a good interaction. It's such a good atmosphere, and that's why I love it so much.
I think it's funny you touch on that because like if you're somewhere you go to, I feel like these events with like Scarefest, Fright Nights, Oktoberfest, you need a good few days to go there to like actually get like, the most out of it. Because I remember like, you know, I did Scarefest. I preferred Scarefest this year. I know we're going off topic a little bit, but I preferred Scarefest more this year. But that's because I went like multiple days. Yeah. When I went to Fright Nights, like they're just the scare zones were just so good.
Oh, Fright Nights was so good this year.
And I could understand why like you and Ellie were there like all the time because you can literally just go there. The actors properly interact with you, and you can get like just a different experience every time. So I guess with Oktoberfest it's the same, isn't it? Like every time you go, have a different experience.
It's like, and there was this one time we went to Oktoberfest where literally, obviously, like the YouTube scene, like Jack Silkstone, everyone, like we're good mates with them, and like everyone was there pretty much. This one Friday night I went. This was after I went to sixth form because my sixth form's stupid and we end at 1. So, but we went there and literally loads of people were there, and it was just like, even just any time I go and there's just people who like, even when Sean you went and I saw you from a distance, I was like, you're here? What? I didn't see that. That was just, it was really good to meet you and stuff, and it's just really good to meet like everyone going. It's just, I'd say the people was the best bit.
It's such a good atmosphere when you have a day and you seem,
Honestly,
I don't know if you have them days and you just see loads of people and you're like,
yeah.
it's you. Oh, it's you. So, and it's a really cool time like that.
Yeah, that's how that like Oktoberfest felt
it's
to me.
It's a
which
snippet
is why
of what the Velvet Coaster's like on opening day, man.
Social distancing, Velvet Coaster, February 6th.
Outside.
How is that going to work? Yeah.
It's not.
No,
it's going to have to be like in the pleasure beach itself, I think.
The funny thing is that because
everyone freezing outside.
Harry was saying that. Harry was saying that in the chat earlier.
Because Velvet Coaster, obviously, like everyone would be drinking till like late hours, and this 10 p.m. curfew came in, and I was just like, if I actually go to opening day and goes to Velvet Coaster, I'm not going to look bad getting kicked out because I'm 16, because everyone's going to have to go at 10.
Because everyone's going to get kicked out.
It's perfectly fine.
What time did we leave that, Luke? Was it like early hours of the morning or something?
It was getting on. I think we only just made check-in.
We're pretty messy by that point, weren't we?
We made check-in by about.
I'll be there with my
5
water.
minutes, 10 minutes. And we couldn't open the door. We had to ring the number for the guy to come out and open the door. It was like, we just made check-in. Like
that was a fun night.
I just think like actually DigitalDan was really drunk at the Oktoberfest because he was drinking the water out of Rumba Rapids all day.
I think my insides would just die if that was the case.
It's like leaking down.
Have you smelt the water recently?
No, we don't smell water when you get hit by water on a ride. You don't know what
No, you can literally smell it in the queue, man. It's so rank.
And you can see all the moss and the paint that's like coming off the little.
I remember seeing a tweet that someone wore like a white jumper, white t-shirt, something. And they went on Rumba Rapids. They got a bit of a decent splash over them, and it just got stained forever.
Yeah, mine did.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Mine got absolutely destroyed. That's why I went and got a black T-shirt for the day after.
It must have been your story then, because
no, I don't think I've ever mentioned it. But like I wore a white T-shirt all day at Thorpe, and then I got back to the hotel. It was absolutely stained to hell. How many times we ride Rumba? 3 times. I think it was 3 times.
3 times. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Then there's your answer.
There you go. And then on
sure,
the last day, I decided to get
the
splashed by tidal wave.
Sure, it just wasn't the pizza and pasta buffet.
No,
it definitely wasn't.
No, it wasn't. No, definitely wasn't.
I've only been for pizza and pasta once, and it was really good. So
it's so much. We did the Towers. We did the Towers one this year.
It's good at Towers,
and it's so good now because it's all done.
Garlic bread is sick.
The garlic bread, but it's better this year because it is done fresh, and I didn't realize it could be even better. Oh, because it's like it's not.
Have you done it this year?
Yeah, we did it Halloween, and because it is just made to order now, which is a bit annoying because it obviously gets more expensive if you want a little bit of everything, but it's just so nice now, nice.
That's the way that Pizza Hut do it now as well. I say now obviously, but before all this, they were basically making you like small pizzas and bringing it. You could get as many of those as you wanted. It's really, really good.
Funny thing is about
I'm starting to love Pizza Hut again.
Pizza Hut's the best pizza place.
I went through a pretty long phase of just being super tired.
Pizza Hut takeaway though. Pizza Hut takeaway is.
I know Pizza Hut takeaway is still pretty tight. Well, it is around my end here anyway. So
yeah.
I had one experience at Chesington when me and James stayed over there, and if you was on it, he'd vouch for it. We had the worst pizza ever. It was it was horrible. But then I had one after I walked up the lift hill with Sean. I went to Pizza Hut on the way back to the hotel, and I managed to get in before the curfew, and I got a takeaway, and I'd ate it before I even got down to the hotel.
Nice.
That was good. That was good. That was good pizza.
He was eating it he was eating it up on the lift hill.
It was like 235 feet with a slice of margarita.
That was brilliant.
Shit, it's on Icon.
Just chuck in and lands on the top hat,
Just stays there.
One for you, Infusion. One for you, Amanda Thompson.
Have a pepperoni,
Wind just takes it clean out of his
I still can't believe that I've done that. I watched that video back, and it's like it's not even me walking up it. Like it's crazy.
I was planning to do that at some point this year, but I really want to, but I never really got around to it. Or I think I did something else instead, but I can't remember what it was. But it would be very good.
It was so good. It was like I was looking forward to it, as it was, but when we actually did it, like I couldn't believe how good it was. Like just being at the top of there. I think because the illuminations are on as well, it just added.
Oh,
to
that would be so good.
I was just about to say, what do you think the experience?
Perfect.
Like, what do you think the experience would have been like if you'd have done it in the day?
Oh, even better. You would have seen more.
I don't think it would have been. I personally don't think it would have been better. I just think it would have been different. Like, I'd say because like the illuminations for me and everything lit up and you could see for miles, like made it so like I don't know, it was just so good. But in the daytime, like as Andy was telling me, and Luke,
you can see the Lake District.
Yeah, you can see a Lake District from there.
Yeah.
Oh, mad.
So it's just mental.
Just to compare it to something I've done. So I've done the coaster tour at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, which included.
Why is Mikhile always flexing on us every time?
How it is?
America.
If you can flex about having ridden Rise of the Resistance, I can flex about some stuff.
He's got a point. He's got a point.
Yeah. Flex away, Mikhile. All yours.
I've ridden stealth, you know.
What was included was a lift tour of Griffin, the B&M dive coaster there as well.
That would have been
nice. Yeah, so that was like.
Did you go in a lift?
Yeah. We had to go up in. They seat up to 10, I think it is, and we had to go up in. We were all separated into groups. There was a lot of us there, to be fair, and we all got separated into groups. I think there was about 6 of us, 6 or 7, and we all went up, and it was early in the morning. It was like 8 or 9 in the morning or something like that.
Did they do like a fake drop?
No, they didn't. They should have done
that.
Spoilers. Wait. that'd have been hilarious if they had. But yeah, like when you got up to the top, you could just see out forever. Like you could, so like Busch Williamsburg is in a really forested area in nearby Williamsburg, and like you can see like all the lakes around it. You can see like the Jamestown River, the Chesapeake Bay, like loads of different like just massive waterbeds. And I'm just thinking what that would have been like if I'd have done it at night. Like you wouldn't have seen anything. Like you wouldn't have seen, it would have been awesome, but it would kind of I can imagine
probably wouldn't have been the same, would it, really?
What made the big one so special at night is that obviously the front of the park is lit up for the illuminations. So we got to see like Icon's top hat look so ominous, just like coming out of the fog. Like it looked so evil. I've never seen a coaster track look as evil as that. If you pause it as they slightly pan around on the video that we've done, you can just see the top hat. It's literally in reaching distance. Like it's so close to the big one. And they were saying if they
didn't want to give it too much screen time in case it scared you.
Yeah, if I couldn't turn, man. I was going up, and we got to that point. Was it like 100 foot? That point, I think it was like 100 feet, 150 maybe. And I turned, and I was like looking over. And I'm trying to, Andy's talking to us, so I'm trying to listen to him, and I'm trying to look, but I'm forgetting that my camera's going this way. It's not going. I have to literally go all the way around.
Yeah,
I couldn't get it properly, but it was
very strange to be like so close to like just standing so close to the top on the top hat. Like it was crazy. When I saw that bit, I was like, that's mental, and that was like very early on the climb, weren't it?
Yeah.
But it's surprising how quick it was to get up there, really, wasn't it?
You even said it. You're like, we're flying up here. It was like, right, we're at 150. We're going to stop at 200. We got to 200, and it started to sway a little bit. Then we got further up, and then it just stopped. Like it was just so calm. It was crazy.
I just wish that I'd realised, like Andy, who took us up. I didn't realise it was Andy Highgate. Like he follows. We follow each other on Twitter. He's the head of ops of the park. So it's basically like Francis Jackson of of Blackpool.
I thought you were going to say it. So we're basically best mates now. So
yeah, we're basically best mates now. We follow each other on Twitter.
He did everything for us. Like he retweeted our video as well, which was awesome. And,
he's a sound guy.
Andy known who he was. Like
he's a really sound guy, and I didn't think he realised like we like knew each other or anything. We was talking on Twitter, but I just if I knew it was him, I'd have had so many more questions to ask him.
Yeah,
because I didn't realise he was like the head of ops. So I was just like, I was really gutted afterwards, and I was like, it's Andy Highgate. Yeah.
Like, we can't tell you too much, but you're gonna love it. I was like, that'll do.
That'll do. But that was cool. But yeah, so in terms of for Dan anyway, like obviously they've got the new the ice cream parlor thing there now. What else would you personally, you at Thorpe all the time, what else would you like to see at Thorpe going, apart from a coaster, obviously?
I've to be honest, when you said ice cream parlor, I thought you were about to start talking about, oh yeah, video, yeah, that went well.
No.
But,
you just started that conversation now.
I'm sorry. Yeah, let's not go into that. But yeah, I don't know, I'm not too sure. Well, I mean, Black Mirror's happening. We know that. Yeah. So hopefully that's pretty decent. I'm sure it will be all right. I haven't got too high expectations right now. But it'll be good to see what it's about. I'm sure there'll be lots of rumors.
I'm interested to see what they kind of do with that, to be honest, because it sounds like a really unique experience.
Yeah,
so
it really does.
It's got such a good entrance by Slammer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of the series, so I'm looking.
I was going to say, have any you watched the series?
Yeah, I love it. I watched it since like series 1, and that was so long ago now. That was like years and years ago. That was where they got the first episode was like where the Prime Minister was blackmailed to have sexual intercourse with a pig. So that was started off strong there.
Coming to Thorpe Park 2022.
That's the
having an animatronic.
That's the first
animatronic inside the maze.
But yeah, what like Luke said, I can't believe they've built a whole flat ride for the entrance.
Yeah, I know. Just there.
It's pretty mental. Yeah. But yeah, I'd like to see
the things this park will do.
Yeah, exactly. I'd like to see Slammer removed. I'll plug myself a bit. A video that I'm going to be releasing soon, hopefully, talks about Quantum, because looks like it's died now.
That looks like
the way it's. Yeah, I was going to say, like last year it opened for probably a month in total or something stupid. And then this year, at the end of the year, it's just like, if you look at it now, I can send a photo afterwards, it's the whole thing's taken apart. And it's just it ain't looking too great, but I'm sure
I saw a picture of it and I couldn't even recognize it. I was like, what
yeah, exactly. It's the same with Soar Alive as well. That's just been sat there, and it's such a wasted bit of space, because Soar Alive was such a good scare maze. If they got rid of that, you could put something. Yeah, just Francis Jackson comes over from Towers. Nice.
Do we have any idea what's keeping Thorpe from getting rid of all these SBNO rides? Because I mean, like, you've
probably money.
Slammer sat there. You've got Soar Alive sat there. Is Loggers Leap still sat there?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Although apparently Jack Silkstone's seen work around there. I don't know what that's about.
Oh, really?
But yeah, they've seen work happening around Loggers Leap. I'm not sure how true that is.
Probably just putting up all the masks.
Oh yeah, probably. Just all the screaming from platform 15, just cleaning them all up.
You're saying that RMC Loggers Leap then, yeah?
Yeah, RMC.
That was just a double down drop and then into a straight track of just brakes.
And then water cannons at the bottom.
Yeah, water cannons.
Goes back. 20p RMC water cannons.
I think what I'd love to see at Thorpe is them just I feel like they've proved through like Oktoberfest and Fright Nights that they're such a great place to do more events at.
Yeah,
like they're perfect. They're like compact enough. It's not like Towers where it's just hard to put anything there. Like it's just they can do everything like in that central bit. I'd love to see him do like more events there and just
like even Bountzilla.
Yeah,
in 2018, as much as people make jokes about it, that was just such a good atmosphere to just go there. Yeah, fun as hell. It was just that.
Yeah.
They have more potential in the events.
They were supposed to have that Kiss event as well, weren't they? But obviously that never went ahead on opening day.
Oh yeah, that was supposed to happen. I think it was just going to be a VIP event, but I'm not 100% sure.
As in like
DJ
like the radio. Something. Oh, okay. I thought you meant like a Kiss event, like.
Oh no!
Like Kiss
Chase.
No.
Kiss Chase around Thorpe Park, anyone?
That's me out.
I mean, don't discredit that, because like if COVID wasn't about, they'd probably do that.
Could be a new scare maze,
Yeah.
Back in 2017, they tried to scare people with spoons. So yeah.
Sanctum. I was watching that video this morning of yours, actually. That's how I kind of sort of knew about the whole Quantum thing, because he literally just pointed and goes, oh, Quantum's broke. But
Quantum broke coming soon. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Coming back.
But yeah, no, I think Yeah.
It would be good to see some updates. I think they've been doing a lot of it, but I think they just need more TLC around the entire park as well.
I agree with that.
If you've seen the WTP van, the one that's outside Stealth, used to be, that got removed for ages, so hopefully that's coming back soon.
It's Thorpe's one of them places where if it's sunny, the whole park looks great. As soon as it's a bit dull, as soon as it's a bit overcast and dull, you start seeing like all the cracks and like the bits. It's a bit like Towers.
I mean, it fits for Soar and Swarm, but other than that, just a bit.
I think it just needs.
Go on. Oh, sorry, go on.
I just think it needs like a paint all over the place, and it needs some maintenance in areas where, because things are closed off, they've not bothered with any maintenance on it. So it's like, I get that. It saves money, it saves resources and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's going to cost you more to get it back looking how it was. Than just to keep looking after it during a period of downtime.
Yeah, it's hard for them to...
I kind of feel like I don't want to say the park looks like it doesn't know what it wants to be, but like it seems like there's a lot of different things.
Definitely more.
I understand that.
Definitely more friends.
I feel like they've. For me, I honestly think like I keep saying it. Like when I did, what is it? Fright Nights. I was like, this is what Thorpe's about. Like this is where I feel like that's what they've been aiming to do for years.
The thrill capital of the UK was their slogan for years.
And but like that was just perfect. I just put more street entertainment on. And they can do things like that, and I think it will bring the park alive a little bit.
Yeah, it's the fact that when every time I went, I've only done the scare mazes one run of each of them, only one time, and since then, every single other visit I've had, I've not done any scare maze, haven't done routes or platform, and I've still would say this is one of the best Fright Nights they've ever done.
That was my biggest regret at Fright Nights, was like going to do the mazes, because obviously I didn't get to do the other one. I was like, we could have just not done the mazes because the scare zones were good enough. I say good enough. They were brilliant. Like they were very good.
Freak. If you get a good run through of that scare zone, it could technically be a short little maze.
I know I think we must have gone through it when it was we got a pretty I wouldn't say bad run. It was still really, really good, but compared to everyone else's, like sometimes you can go there and some people won't be on the break, isn't it? So it's luck of the draw really on that. So I wish I'd got to do another one on that, because it looked, some of the videos I've seen are just hilarious, man. So many chainsaws.
They sat me down. They sat me down at one point at press night and just started. I think they counted down to 3, and 3 of them swung axes at my head.
As you do.
So there you go.
I can't believe they've not hit.
As everyone does at some point in their lives.
Honestly,
I see them do it on videos, and they do that, and I'm like, how have they not slipped?
Honestly, there was this one time. So if you're aware, on the exits from Creek Freak, you have like a vending machine on the right. Yeah. So there's a little corner bit between the fence and that.
Yeah.
So an actor turns round as my mates go off, and he sees me walking, and then he backs me into the corner and literally puts a chainsaw about there to my neck.
Wow.
And I'm like, how are you not hitting me at this point? But it's so good.
Are you so precise with it?
Yeah. Well, when we was in me and my mates were in Prague 2 years ago, and we ended up we was on a stag do, and we ended up at this it was called a horror bar, and it was just a normal bar. It was underground, and it was just played rock music, but all the waiters and the bar people were dressed up as zombies and stuff, and they went, do you know there's a scare maze in here? And we was like, what? He was like, yeah.
God.
Yeah, so we went in it. It was it was really good scare maze. It was really well themed.
I need to go
there.
We were steaming, we were absolutely steaming. And then, but at the end there was a chainsaw, and it's Prague. They don't care about health and safety. So this guy just got this chainsaw, put against my mate's arm, and he come out bleeding. And it was just obviously it's not got it's just a chain, but obviously that on your skin hurts, man. And it just was on there, and he just had blood coming down his arm. And he was just
glad they don't do that. I thought, Jesus.
Yeah, amazing. So they are pretty dangerous if you do slip.
Jesus.
But I think like they're just obviously so good at these, like especially at Thorpe, at like knowing where to stop.
Yeah,
because obviously the amount of times I've seen him with axes and stop.
It's like also not even with weapons and stuff. It's like the Amity High actors tend to, because I've been around there quite a lot because Ellie likes that and I quite enjoy it too. But when we're around there, even knowing a couple of the actors, they literally like they stamp towards people to scare them, and they probably get like their feet about that far away from other people's. One little slip or one little turn from them, they could just run straight into them.
They just must have so many, like, just got good reactions, haven't they, really?
Yeah. There was this one time where, shout out to Pentheus, the one of the vampires at Amity High. But basically, one time it was dark, and the stealth entrance has a fence that obviously closes the the actual queue at the end of the day. So he stood behind that fence, and it is pretty much pitch black around that bit. And people were walking into the stealth queue, and he was just banging on the bin next to it and jumping up. And it scared the living hell out of people. It was so funny.
The funniest, I don't know whose vlog it was. It was either Jack Silkstone's vlog, or it was Archie's one he did. I can't remember which one it was, but it's when they went and the crow, I don't know if any of you saw it, but one of the crows like literally just stamped in a puddle.
I've seen that.
I watched that bit like 5 times because it was the way he did it. The crow was just
the crows are so strange.
They look awesome, man. They're like so cool. Straight out of Batman. Like that's what
they're so scary. Like there's one time, if you're aware of the little way down from say Jungle Escape or where Roots is down to Old Town, where there's a bunch of bushes, and they were just like getting into the bushes, and like if you've seen, I'll post a picture on Twitter, and it's like this one flopped on a bench. It was the randomest thing. But they've done that. There was one time in Festival, there's obviously like a dog kind of character, or like someone on a leash, and a crow went in the leash, and they started dragging it round on the floor. The dog. It's some of the things they do are just so random, but I just love it so much.
That's fantastic.
So funny,
that is really
so
cool.
funny.
Oh yeah, Kieran, how the crow's got Lee soaked. Yeah, it was Lee.
So Dan, like I remember, like, cause I've obviously a lot of us here have been watching your channel for a while, like for a few years now.
Oh, thank you.
You've always said like, I'd never do a vlog because I'd be too self-conscious. But you've gone into doing a kind of a vlog sort of thing. Is that something you would?
A vlog film from down here.
What made you change your mind?
Everyone starts there, mate.
Well,
gradually work their way up to here.
Yeah, just slowly gets higher.
But when you do that, you're going to be over everyone. So I mean, just make sure you do it.
I've got to be like, but I think the thing that changed my mind about that is the fact that I've always wanted to do a vlog. Like, I've always wanted to do it in my kind of style, because obviously, like, I'm not one to sit there and vlog and then edit it all up normally with music and stuff. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because of course it's not. But I take like whether it's funny or not, it's up to people. But it's like a humorous twist to it, which is how I tried to portray that. And I think because I don't think I could do what some people do and sit with a camera in the middle of a massive crowd and vlog. I don't think I could do that personally. But I feel like because it was a press night and everyone else was there vlogging as well, it was just a bit like, okay, I can do this. And then I tried it, and that's how it went. So.
I think it worked really well, because it's difficult for what, like, I know what you're saying. It's difficult for what you do. It's like trying to combine your style into a vlog.
You just got to kind of hope things happen that you could put into a funny, So.
But you've definitely got my sense of humor anyway, because everything that you do, I just find absolutely brilliant. So
thank you.
No worries.
100%.
Like, it's always hard to hear compliments, though, isn't it? When someone goes, "Oh, I really like it," you're like, "Thanks."
That's the thing. No, it's like when people comment and stuff saying like, "Oh, it's such a great video," and I just reply, "Thanks." So what? Like someone once said, "Have you got a bot replying to all these?" Because they're exactly the same. It's just I'm very thankful for it, of course, but it's just like you can't say thanks in 500 other different ways. But I am very thankful for all.
I realised that with the Efteling vlog I did, when I was going from like 200 views a day, a video, to my Efteling vlog getting like 83,000 views.
Jesus.
And I was just like, I was like, I always said, I pride myself in replying to every comment, and then it become a literal day job, like replying to every single comment. And I was just like, I will do this. And then in the end, I just had I had to have like a copy and pasted notes and just being like, yeah, that will fit this reply.
That's fair. That's fair. I've never done that, but yeah, that's fair.
I was like, at that point, I was like having to do 30 replies to 30 comments a day, and I was just like, I don't know how. And there are some people who obviously still do that with a massive audience, but after a while, you do feel like you're repeating yourself a little bit. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just all the support though. It does mean a lot to the creator. Like every single comment I get saying this is like great and stuff, I do really appreciate it. But it's just like you can't say thank you in 500 different ways and stuff.
No.
How did everyone at your school as your channel was like taking off, or like when what was it like when like your friends at school first like saw like one of your videos and stuff like that? That must have been so surreal.
I'll give you the gist of you can make this out for yourself, but let's say so prior to year 11 I mainly did Minecraft videos.
Okay.
So you can kind of make out what the main kind of gist was. Oh, he's a Minecraft YouTuber, all this kind of stuff. And I was like, no, I'm getting into the theme park stuff now. And then as soon as I went into year 11, and then since then, even in sixth form now, there's literally like people who sit there and just say like massive respect to you for doing it. Like, because obviously there's a massive balance you have to take between schoolwork and because there's obviously exams to revise for, etc. Sure. And then you have your YouTube, and it's quite difficult editing processes and filming them all. Going to Fort Park every other week, trying to fit it all in. But it's just, a lot of people took at first the whole Minecraft side of it, which is a bit like, really? Is that happening? This is when I had like 200 subs. This is when I had like 200 subs, so it's a bit like, okay. But then as soon as it started like getting out there a bit more, I think everyone kind of just sat there and went, this is what you like doing. Just fair enough. Big respect. So I was like, cheers, I'll take that.
I didn't tell I've just a lot of friends I don't even know I do what I do because it's just like, how do you explain it? Like most people who aren't into especially into coasters and stuff, people don't realize that there's an actual community around like theme parks and coasters.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, so it's people like to say I do YouTube videos about theme parks and coasters, to them they're like, what? Like,
I mean, it's got to that point where I remember like. But it used to be my mates knew, that was pretty much it. But now, literally, family knows everything like that. It got to the point where I even asked my hairdresser whether I'm ginger or not.
Oh, really? Everyone kept commenting on it.
Yeah, because he knows about it too. And I was just like, right, so I have a question. Every single time I do a stream or I do a video, everyone calls me ginger. Am I ginger? And he's just like, no. So I was like, cool. There you go.
I've met you in real life. And you aren't ginger.
Thank you.
Guarantee that.
There you go.
I can guarantee that. But I think that's the thing with your audience is like, it's got the type of videos you do. Like you're basically the centerpiece of like a meme, aren't you? Really, like your audience like to meme on you quite a lot.
Why not? Yeah, we'll say that. We'll say that. As sad as it is sometimes, yeah, we'll say that. Why not?
But it's good. It's good. You've got a good community around you. Like people like love everything you do, and they follow everything. And that's it, really, isn't it?
Like, I mean, like as much as like I've said, like recently I've put out like a tweet saying that kind of, I think this has happened like now looking at it. Yeah, it's happened a lot in the theme park community as a whole.
Yeah, sure.
But views have gone way down from what they used to be, which is, it does take a hit to you. Like I've tried to explain this before, but I guess some people don't understand it from a YouTuber's perspective. But someone like me, if I look at numbers, I'm not exactly like, oh, this one's doing bad, I'm going to stop.
Yeah,
I look at numbers, I'm like, okay, can do better. If a video does bad, I'm like, okay, let's just move on from it. Whereas when it's consistent, it got a bit like, okay, maybe I need to take action. But of course, it's to do with the whole YouTube scene, so it's a bit difficult.
It is hard, isn't it? Because that's how you're meant to like that. That's the only thing as a YouTuber you've got to go off is like the analytics to go. Okay, well, obviously there's something that they didn't like with this video, because if you try and change something up, but then if you're not getting like an actual, proper representation of what's going on, like everyone's views are down in the theme park community. I think even CoasterBot said, your tweet, he was just like, even his have gone down, and it's pretty mad what's happening, but it can get in your head sometimes, especially when
100%.
Like, because I don't know what you're like, because you're on like how many subscribers you're on now? Nearly 9k or
8.4k, something like that.
Subscribe
So like
to DigitalDan,
that's
guys.
insane. That's like when I got to 1,000, I was just like, oh wow, like this was a hobby, and now I've got to actually do this for real because
that's
chosen to
how mine
subscribe to
was.
me. So you feel like indebted to them to like create the content and do it. And then when you start seeing like a drop, you're like, am I disappointing them? Like what's going on? Like it's not coming from a place of like I deserve more views or more subs. It's like I want to make content you guys
I want to do better kind of thing.
Like and that's the way it happens. And it can get in your head sometimes where you just like everyone's saying I love you, I love your content, but the views aren't representing that. It's that's the problem. It's like when someone isn't a YouTuber or a creator, it's hard to see that side of it. But yeah, I think like I say, it's what I said to you. It was just like your content is just always bang on. It's funny. You've got a different take on it, and that's the key now, isn't it? It's like to have a different take on.
It's been original, isn't it?
Yeah.
Joe in the chat just said even PewDiePie's views went down, so it might
be
something that's
70K or something in the first hour, or something like that, 700 or something stupid.
It was ridiculous. It was like something like he got like 6,000 views in the first hour for PewDiePie. Like it was weird, man. It was so weird, and that was like a bit of a freak occurrence because that's mad even for his standard. That's mad, but they've obviously changed something in it. But it's just like I say, it makes it harder to understand what people want to see.
I think also it's just like as much as this, like what we talked about, does get like content creators down a bit. It's just like, what can I do better? It's now the time. It's national lockdown. It's that time again to start pushing to make more. As much as now it's the close season and it's now lockdown, which means like even when lockdown started, no one was really searching for theme park content, so it took a drop anyway. But now's the time. As much as it's taken a huge hit now's the time to keep going and entertain those people who do still watch.
Absolutely. And that's what we're doing here. Like honestly, there's going to be so much content. It's going to be crazy.
Because it's like there's a lot of people in
just streaming, Dan. Just stream.
True.
Seriously,
I'm planning to do that.
Honestly, just stream, man. Honestly, like, and if you ever need someone to join you, I'm more than welcome to.
Thank you.
Or something like that.
I think it can't be understated that people like you guys offer the service of theme park content, but people, people subscribe to your channels, people tune into your content for your personalities as much as the 100%. Content.
Yeah, I think so.
So like with what Luke said about streaming and stuff, like. Absolutely. It's a great idea because people get insight. Well, I'll just get to interact with you.
That's what I like about streaming most. It's not the thing that I'm doing. It's interacting with people while I'm enjoying. Well, it is the thing that I'm doing.
Like
for example.
And that's why I do a lot of TPI live as well.
Yeah. And I enjoy talking about theme park stuff with just people in the chat. Literally, that's. Yeah.
I just did recently I did a live chat just with my girlfriend, and that was just still interacting with the community, getting feedback from other people. I even had, I can't remember what it was. I think it was the Ben and Jerry's video, which no longer exists.
What?
I think
that didn't exist.
Where was that?
That didn't exist. We don't talk about that.
What do you mean? Basically. But I remember even it happens on streams as well, but I got criticism saying that why am I saying criticism? Like constructive criticism, you could be a bit more confident in what you're doing and stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's fair enough. I've always been a little bit behind cameras, and especially because there was 12, maybe 15 people behind the counter watching me do this, and it's just hang on, they've just stuck this random guy in.
But I'd also say I don't really agree with that a little bit because I wouldn't say you come across as unconfident. I was you just come across as you, and that's who you are. If you're feeling like that, it's like when I do my vlogs, I never try. I try at first. I was trying to be someone else, I wasn't, and then I was just if there's actually
you gotta be you.
I'm want to just pretend to be someone I'm not for like years. Like I'd hate to be that person. So I think like I loved that video you did with the Ben Jerry's. It was hilarious because it was just you being you.
Shame it's gone now.
Yeah, it's gone. But I was like, if I was in that situation, I'd be the same. Like people just watching me, like trying to learn on the fly.
Yeah,
and then being filmed like that. I
mean,
like
even in that like instance where I was there, I like that was probably I wasn't like feeling unconfident at all. I was actually quite enjoying myself doing it normally.
I bet you
I was literally buzzing, but it was just like you get constructive criticism all the time, and it's not something I'll look past, delete the comment, and be like, "Oh, why are you saying that?" I need like there's room for improvement everywhere. So
there always is room for improvement.
Nothing's ever perfect.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
It's like the thing that I got with the Effling stuff was like loads of Dutch people telling me like I got everything wrong, and I was like, I'm not Dutch. Like everyone was like, all the poems for like all the different sections are around the park, and I was like, yeah, but they're all in Dutch. Like,
I can't be asked to translate them.
I was like, so most people were very, very helpful and were just like translating them for me and going, oh, I love the video. But then there's some people like, you stupid person, how did you not know this? And I was just like, I'm sorry.
I mean,
you just get into the purists of
that's it.
Every
everyone gets
And I mean, at the end of the day as well, just because we're enthusiasts and just because we absolutely love it and this is our hobby, doesn't mean that we know absolutely everything about everything. We really don't. We're always learning.
Yeah.
We're not. We're human. We're not perfect, and I think people forget that. So
I've always trying to come because I'm not like super knowledgeable like about everything. I don't know everything. Hardly know.
Not remotely.
Like I try and look at like the US theme parks and look how many parks and coasters they've gone and get like overwhelmed and go, nah.
You can't possibly keep up with them all. I
just wait for like an expedition theme park video to come out.
That's the one.
Exactly.
But like I've always with my channel, I've always tried to say like I just try and capture like an atmosphere of just being at a park. Not an enthusiast at a park, but just being at like a park and having a good time.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Well, yeah.
Like, you go.
No, you go. I don't know.
Okay, cheers. Like my channel, as much as I've tried, like I want to say 3 or 4 informational videos. Like we've all tried it eventually, and I've tried it. But if you watch them, you can still see that I can't bear to not crack any jokes in the middle of them. Because if I just sit there and speak in a monotone voice, that's not me. Speaking, that's just me trying to be deadpan, trying to actually like get on with reading a script or getting a video done. Whereas if I'm sitting there and every so often, even like half my jokes are me messing up what I'm saying a lot of the time. Like I'll cut to black and just be like, what am I saying? That kind of stuff. It just happens that way.
That's one thing I noticed about your content, to be honest.
It's just a lot of like everything happens, like even in this stream I've probably been like it, but I just talk. I don't know.
I'm the same. Like when I first started vlogging, especially, like I kept doing retakes, and I was like, I can't go around a theme park doing like 5 retakes every time I say a sentence. So I just had in my head. I was just like, no retakes anymore. So I just like chat bollocks most of the time.
The only time I did a retake was when I was trying to sign off at FOP, and James on purpose.
I
was trying to sign off on the first day. And he was ruining it on purpose, and I'm like,
I just keep noticing like loads of. I don't know if you guys notice it, but when you watch your stuff back, like I say the same words again and again and again.
Yeah.
Like I realized recently, I kept going, "That's cool. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, look at how cool that is."
As you can see, that is the biggest one for me.
Like, or like I say, like a lot, like.
I used to say insane a lot.
Yeah, you did.
Fantastic for me.
I say literally all the time. I'm like, no, Sean, that's not what literally means. Literally means literal. When I say, it's literally walk on, it's like, no, it's not, because there's like a queue. Like it's not literally walk on. And I sit there editing, going, "Oh, God's sake, whatever." But I just try and learn for the next time, but I never learn.
I'm really glad though, because my channel, like I used to, well, I still kind of do. I wouldn't say I slate the place, like the place that I'm talking about, but I like take little digs at it as a joke. As loads of us do. But I'm kind of glad that hasn't been. So when I call Rita bad, for instance, Like, I actually don't find it that bad, but it's just continuing on from when I did find it quite bad.
Yeah.
But I'm glad people don't see that as me genuinely hating on it. There are a couple of people who do. That's going to happen. But I'm glad people see the other side of it and just think, okay, it's just a joke. It's fine. They're not ripping into me because, no, Rita's all right. What are you saying? Not allowed an opinion. What's going on?
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's for the most part, when when most people say stuff, you take it with a pinch of salt, and you just like, and you can tell when people are like, you get these things like the whole battle with Inferno and Nemesis. It's all just like light-hearted, good fun. Everyone knows deep down that like
it's just an opinion.
It's just an opinion. Like, you can't be wrong, you can't be right. Like, it's one of them things. Like, I'm sure there's people who absolutely love Rita, and it's like the favorite ride in the park, but they're not wrong. That's just their opinion.
Exactly.
Like,
there's people who probably think
wrong with us.
Yeah, not is great.
Feel.
Yeah. Well, Theo definitely thinks so.
There's literally probably people who think that
in real life, I'm on No Limits.
There's people who probably think that Infusion is better than both Nemesises.
Yeah,
like, it's just an opinion. As bad as that is, it is just an opinion. So.
This is getting too much now, guys.
We'll stop. We'll bring it down a bit. End the show. Jeez, we have been going for 2 hours. I was going to say.
Yes, we have.
2 hours.
Hasn't felt like that at all.
Nah, not at all. Well, I think we will end it there, actually, because, you can always get you back on, Dan, whenever you feel like it, especially
100%.
with all the free time we've got now as well. And
it's always open.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Not at Thought Park. Not working at Ben and Jet. No. But yeah, no, it's been an absolute blast, man, having you on the podcast again. Well, thank you for having me on. It's been really good. So I'm down to come on again if that's ever.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Come back as many times as you want, mate.
But coming up in the next 3 or 4 episodes, guys, we've got some amazing guests. So make sure you follow us on all our social media, especially Twitter. Twitter is the best one at the moment. My Facebook page is, to be honest with you, I'm actually very close to just not bothering with it, because we've gone from having so much interaction on our Facebook page to literally no one is using Facebook anymore. So it's not great. So everything on Twitter's blowing up now for CoasterGen. Our community tab's great as well. I know you guys share all our stuff as well. I think the only person who shares our stuff now on Facebook is actually Joe over at Theme Park Insanity, which is fantastic Facebook page. So make sure you follow Joe over at Theme Park Insanity as well on Facebook.
Please do, guys.
And all the links so for ParkSpill, links are in the video description below from Mikhile as well. Same with our social media. And obviously, you know what DigitalDan's links are, but they are in the video description. If you're not already subscribed to him, make sure you do.
Thank you.
But yeah, it's been awesome, guys. Thank you so much, guys. It's been a wicked podcast. This will be up on Spotify tomorrow at 3 p.m. So yeah, check that out. But for now, I've been Luke. He's been Joe from Theme Park Insanity. He's been Sean from ParkSpill. He's been Mikhile. And he's been DigitalDan. And we've been the CoasterGen Show, guys. We'll see you next time.